So how's everybody doing? This is going to be yet another Avatar video because I am truly disgusted by the chain of events that have taken place, and I don't want to be as animated as I really should be. Now everyone and their grandma, their ice cream man, their roommate, has been making videos about this Anita Sarkeesian Sargon of Akkad exchange at VidCon. And, you'll have people who are either on, Sargon's side, who are Sargon's fans, or you'll have somebody who's a fan of Anita on her side. Let me just say right now that I'm a fan of neither of these individuals. Sargon, aka Carl Benjamin, is a right-wing shill who claims to be he says he's a classical liberal, but that doesn't mean he's a liberal. He's a conservative, and he consistently shills for the right because those are the people who are paying him money. It's all in the money, right? Came out and said that the reason why he doesn't attack the right is because he can't help the right. That's bollocks, okay? That is absolute BS. If you want to stand here and be a completely objective person, you need to be able to at least criticize the other side of your beliefs and your side of your beliefs. Like, I attack the left all the time. Everyone says that I'm a left-leaning person. I personally consider myself to be a centrist, but I also understand that I lean a certain direction. Now, at the same time, I don't like Anita either. I don't like Anita. I don't hate Anita. I just wouldn't be able to trust her as far as like a thrower. Okay? Anita Sarkeesian is an individual who had absolutely no ties to video games besides one little picture of her as an 8-year-old playing a Super Nintendo, right? And she puts herself into a community. She lodges herself into a community because she knows that she's able to make money. She started a Kickstarter so that she could research how video games are sexist against women. And now I will say this, she makes a few valid points. But she also fishes. She also cherry picks arguments. She also does absolutely no research and contradicts herself at basically every turn. Now, the negative aspect is the fact that she unfortunately did receive death threats from trolls online, right? And I don't condone any of that, okay? Anybody out there, even if you're a child molester, and you receive death threats, I don't condone that. Because I believe that justice should be in the hands of the authorities, not the hands of vigilante citizens, right? Now, here's the thing. She received those death threats, and I don't agree with them. I don't agree with anybody getting death threats, like I already said. But she used that as a platform in order to garner sympathy and write her own narrative that men in video games, or men who play video games, or the video game industry, is not only sexist against women, but they don't want women in their space. And if a woman gets in their space, then they will commit death threats, they will harass them online, and the media picked up with that, and that's how people saw the video game industry. A bunch of meninists. And there were a lot of people online who decided to criticize Anita, criticize feminists online, and they saw this as threatening, as harassing. I'm sorry, this is a video sharing website. That's what YouTube is. Anybody who uses the claim, oh, you're harassing me, or you're threatening me online when you're just making simple criticism videos, I'm sorry. The internet is not for you. The internet is not for you. You are the embodiment of a snowflake, right wing or left wing, and you do need to just park yourself in your nearest safe space away from everybody else, right? I am someone on here who wants to have a dialogue with people. I'm not someone on here who's going to, threaten people, harass people, constantly hound people, find the person's information and show up to their house. That's not what I want to do. There are people who probably do want to do this, and I find that to be absolutely disgusting. Now, the thing about Sargon is the fact that I don't really watch his videos that much anymore, so this is just me kind of guessing or me kind of saying what I know. I could be completely wrong in this situation. But Sargon, for the most part, now I've seen him get triggered and freak out at people and call people names, but Sargon would never go out and harm somebody. And I would say that Sargon would be absolutely disgusted if one of his supporters was responsible for hurting somebody who they disagree with. Okay? Sargon, I would know, I mean I would believe him to be kind of a libertarian, but he believes in freedom of speech. I don't think that Sargon would silence or flag another video maker for doing disgusting things, right? And if we really want to turn this argument on its head and deflect, I'm not really for deflection, but while people online like Thunderfoot, Sargon, others have made videos criticizing Anita, right? And she considers that harassment. Her fans once harassed Thunderfoot, Phil Mason, a few years ago, doing a letter writing campaign in attempts to get the man fired from his job, or worse, arrested because he resided in the Czech Republic, and in the Czech Republic it's illegal to be a neo-Nazi, and that's what they, bewildered, flinging poo ape, Jenny McDermott, Laughing Witch, Hannibal the Victor, and what's his name? Mr. Potato Head. You never go full Kevin Logan. So they went after him and they actually harassed him. And there was absolutely no apology by Anita. But of course, we've all known that Anita acts like she wants to discuss things with people. She wants to have a discussion. She wants to have a dialogue. Yet she closes off the metadata to her videos. The rating systems, the comments, they're gone, right? You can't see any of those. True, it's because people have written horrible things to her. But she milks in or mixes in Sargon and Thunderfoot in with those trolls. Now, that's just backstory for anybody who lives under a rock, I guess. What happened was at VidCon, right? At VidCon, Anita Sarkeesian was on a panel, and on this panel, there were a bunch of other people, I guess, and in the front row happened to be Sargon of Akkad. Now, he was just there filming. He paid to be there. He paid to be a part of the panel. And I guess the rules of the panel that were set up by Hank and Mike Green were: disorderly conduct includes, but is not limited to, any behavior that is illegal, unsafe, disruptive, discriminatory, or causes excessive discomfort to our attendees or guests. If someone doesn't want to talk to you, don't talk to them. If you do not have permission to touch someone, do not touch them. VidCon loves surprising and interesting unplanned activities, but sometimes things you think are cool might make other people extremely uncomfortable or be very dangerous. So I guess that is the harassment part, or the code of conduct section for VidCon, right? And I've been looking around the internet for like what maybe posed Anita to say what she said. Nobody has gotten back to me yet. I guess I'm not that big on this website. Hold on. So I wrote on this video by Honey Badger Radio, did Sargon say anything to Anita to make her go off on him at the panel? And Honey Badger Radio responded, he said nothing. Okay, so apparently he wasn't even talking to Anita. And Anita's talking about something, and out of nowhere, just out of completely nowhere. Now this is like unheard of because Anita has never directly, said anything to any of the people who have criticized her. But this is what she said. If you Google my name on YouTube, you get shitheads like this dude, Sargon, who happened to be sitting in the front row filming the whole thing, who are making these dumbass videos that just say the same shit over and over again. It's like, I hate to give you attention because you're a garbage human being. But the fact that these dudes are making endless videos that just go after every feminist over and over again, I think it's part of the issue of why we have to have these conversations. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Especially when I've seen videos of, or clips of this, where you have a guy coming up and he's like asking a question, and he's like, well, do you believe in the things that you say? And she's like, oh, that's a garbage question. Answer the question, okay? A yes or no. Just be like, I don't like your question, but yes, I believe in the things that I say. Of course. That should be easy. And then you have Joey Salads going at, which I don't like Joey Salads in any way, shape, or form. But he did bring up a point, and Anita Sarkeesian just tosses him out by the wayside and is like, kick him out of here. Like, is that like what you do? Is that what you do when somebody gives you a possible question that might be important? Even if you don't think that the question's important, or you don't think the question's good, tossing a guy out because of his question is just disgusting. And it's disturbing to me that happened there. But at the same time, right, going back to the whole Sargon thing, wasn't Anita's whole platform about not harassing people? It wasn't that her platform, not harassing people online? Well, standing there unprovoked, according to Honey Badger's radio, coming out and out of the blue harassing a guy, calling him a shithead, calling him a garbage human being. Okay? For someone who claims to be above that, I'm sorry. I can't condone that either. I don't like Sargon, but you were put on that panel, and you were expected to respect your audience, not harass your audience. What you have done is you have nullified your own contract that you must have signed to be on that panel. And again, Sargon didn't say anything to you. Sargon, I would say Sargon would want a dialogue with you. I think that you having a dialogue with Sargon and you meeting with Sargon would be the best thing ever. For you, at least. Otherwise, why do you even have these talks? Why do you even invite these guys to these talks? Well, you didn't invite the guys, but why do you even have a talk in front of people who have, quote, harassed you and are garbage human beings? I don't want to talk to garbage human beings. I want to talk to people who want to be enlightened by what I have to say. And even if they don't agree with me, I will let them have their piece and not yell and shout over them. right? I think it's disgusting. I think it's disturbing. I think Anita Sarkeesian ought to be ashamed of herself, and I think she ought to have an apology set up for Sargon, even though I know that that will never happen in a million years. Okay? And it completely demolishes her victimhood harassment argument when she's going to go out and do the same thing to these audience members who, honestly, Sargon of Akkad has never laid a finger on Anita. And now, you could probably say, well, Sargon deserves it because he has said mean things to Anita online. Okay, but two wrongs don't make a right. Even if he has done that. Now, I don't know if he has done that. If anyone out there has information on saying that he has done that, well, then that's fine, okay? And I will take that into consideration. But in this situation, Sargon is not wrong. Sargon was minding his dear old business, was sitting there with the camera, and he was there peacefully. He didn't have any weapons. He wasn't trying to hurt anybody. He wasn't trying to hurt Anita's feelings. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, well, he was there to bait Anita. Anita Sarkeesian isn't a dog, okay? She isn't a wild animal. She's a human being, okay? I would expect baiting out of my dog, okay? When dogs bark in my neighborhood, he just comes out and barks. If a dog's coming out up at him barking, he's going to bark back. That's baiting. This isn't baiting. Anita Sarkeesian can handle her emotions. She's a grown-ass woman. So that's all I have. Very disgusted by the turn of events at VidCon. And I believe that the people who set this up, they owe Sargon an apology. A huge apology. Because in a sense like this, with an event that was put on and a panel that was put on, I would expect grown-ass adults to act like grown-ass adults. And that's all I have to say. Peace.